By that movie, it was a masterclass in how not to make a movie.
Like, at no point did they make a good decision.
Yeah. Which one's the camera that I look at? Don't watch this movie. It is a waste of time. Unless you want a Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Like, I didn't know how bad it was actually going to be.
Yeah, we actually trauma bonded after it. It was just...
Could this possibly be the shortest ever episode of Eat, Sleep, Nerd? A show where you can check out, go AFK, and relax with us as we discuss all things nerd. I'm your dorky DJ, Corey Winter, and we're just going to be talking about what we've been nerding out on, because it's been a long time since we've done it. So, joining me for this discussion here in studio, we got a geeky panel. I said so many words just then. Josh Winter, Christian James. You're not Nick.
I am not Nick.
Oh my god. This is weird. And Jason Summer.
I feel like you did that on purpose.
I feel like you did too. And hey. Hey, not Nick.
It's fine.
Not Corey. How are you over there?
I'm fine.
Not Josh. How you doing?
Pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good. I get mistaken for him a lot, though.
It's because you're putting on weight.
Oh.
Dang.
It's more of a voice thing, but...
I literally had a conversation with one of my brother's friends that thought it was him for like 20 minutes.
I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Whilst wearing a jacket with my name on it.
Okay. I mean, I can see that. Anyway, that's beside the point.
I mean, you and Frank look alike.
Yeah.
You look like brothers, but you don't look like the same person.
Everybody thinks that we're the same person.
Negative.
No.
Like we have similar voices or something.
Well, I've never met him, so I don't know. But anyway, so this episode of Eat Sleep Nerd, we're doing off the cuff because we're actually waiting for Britt to show up for our special Halloween themed episode, which is why we have all the pumpkins and spider webs and stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's coming out the week of Halloween. I'm not actually sure which day yet. I could probably look it up. I'm not going to. So we're just going to sit here and chat for a little bit because it's been a while since we talked about what we've been nerding out on. We've been doing like very topical episodes. So this will leave a lot of room to talk about just general stuff. So let's
a lot of that is private.
So what have you guys been nerding out on?
Well, I first want to talk about how we all got together last week and watched Madam Web.
Yes, I am so proud that you guys actually let me do that.
Oh my god!
At Jason's new apartment.
Yeah.
Fully furnished.
Right down the
It was
street.
fun.
Possibly haunted.
Yes, possibly. By that movie, it was a masterclass in how not to make a movie.
Like, at no point did they make a good decision.
Yeah.
No.
There were no good decisions.
So
in
this
that
isn't
entire
going to
movie.
be like a review episode,
No.
but I will say, which one's the camera that I look at?
Well, I guess for you, none of them.
None-
I mean, the one in the middle, I guess.
The middle? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't watch this movie. It is a waste of time. Unless you want a Mystery Science Theater 3000 it.
So that's what
What we did.
That's the only
Yeah.
only scenario where I was going to watch this movie.
It's a party movie.
Yeah.
It's a sleepover movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I didn't know how bad it was
Oh,
actually going to
sleepovers.
be.
Yeah, we actually trauma bonded after it. It was just...
So yeah, we actually talked about possibly reviewing that movie back before it actually was going to come out. And then we heard how bad it was going to actually be. And we were just like, we don't want to waste our times doing that.
Yep.
And it was like one of those things too, where it was a time when trailers were coming out and just telling the whole story. So we're like, I don't want to do that.
Although, this might be the first time I saw a trailer which made me think there was more story than there actually was
Mm.
in the
Yes.
movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. I don't know. No spoiler alert. The girls are never in costume.
Except
There
for
is-
foreshadowing.
There is like one flash forward dream sequence where in total, maybe 60 seconds, they're in their costumes. The rest of the movie is essentially a prequel.
Yeah.
But that trailer makes it look like you're going to see some Avengers level spider people stuff.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah, it was...
No, dude. But no, we
And
kind of did that instead of
Yeah.
Joker or Megalopolis.
Nice.
There's gonna be a supercut of me struggling to say Megalopolis one day. But yeah, we were gonna watch one of those terrible movies, and then we decided not to. So instead, we watched an old terrible movie.
Which is actually
Still
just
2024.
still this year. Yeah.
But still just...
A lot of things vying for worst movie of
Yeah.
2024.
And I actually had it on Blu-ray, which was to much of
Really?
everybody's surprise.
Very surprised.
Yeah.
Actually.
On disc,
You
physical
hope I
media.
paid money for that.
I was hoping.
You
I'm
probably
always-
paid full price. Too,
I am
didn't you?
a hoper on movies. Like, anyway.
He made an educated wish.
Nah, I think I knew it was gonna be bad, but I got it anyway.
Do you think, and like really dig deep here, if you weren't watching it with other people that were actively making fun of it, do you think you could have enjoyed it a little bit more? Because
Like, did you think less of it because we were dogging on it?
Yeah.
No, I actually watched it because you all were there.
So that's what I
would've
was thinking.
stopped.
Jason would have
Okay.
turned it off.
I
if
would.
we
I was
hadn't
actually
been
going to turn it off. At some point, Josh said, "I think I just saw Jason's soul leave his body," and he was not far from being wrong.
You were actively upset.
Yeah, it was like I really wanted to turn it off, but I was actually having so much fun just making fun of it. So,
Well, it's because, okay, so like Jason and I have talked about this before. I guess this is what we're talking about this episode. So
A
like,
couple minutes, yeah.
so like Jason and I have talked about this, and this is Jason's original point. So I will always credit him. But it all starts with a good story. If you have a good story, we'll forgive everything else. These days, we have a lot of movies where they're maybe not the best story, but there's enough other cool stuff to make you stick around to the end. So cool fights, cool effects, cool whatever. This movie had neither of those things.
Yeah.
Like there was no good action, there was no good story, there was no good acting, there was no good effects, there was no good like any moment where you could have been like, okay, no.
Mhm.
No,
The
they didn't do it.
attempted vehicular manslaughter.
Which only worked because the bad guy jumped into it.
Well,
Oh, no,
which,
you're
I mean, it happened twice.
Yeah.
were you talking about in the diner?
Yeah,
Oh.
she hit him in the diner
Yeah.
and with the text, and then she hit him with the ambulance. So it's like, what? It didn't work the first time.
Right.
Why would it work the second time?
Bigger vehicle.
Do you want to talk about that taxi?
So
I'm
she
gonna let
took to
Christian talk
South
about the taxi.
the also another thing that this movie had problems with was transitioning.
Yeah.
So
No concept of time.
so they were in New York, and then somehow made it into the woods of New York State in upstate New York in 10 seconds. No travel time, no montage of running up the road, just there. And then the next scene, she's in Peru. Did she take the taxi to Peru? We don't know.
Then there's like how they already had the headline of 3 girls kidnapped in the newspaper.
Yeah, the Daily Bugle was on it
Yeah.
within the hour.
Yeah.
Photos and everything.
Like, there's a tie into Superman or Spider-Man. Spider-Man. It's the Spider-Man universe. There's a Daily Bugle.
Yeah.
That was it. And you know what? The funniest part of the movie was probably the most awkward part when they were at the baby shower.
Mhm.
And they were kind of making fun at I guess childbirth or something. And that was like
Yeah.
anyway, that was like the only part of the movie that's had any type of life to it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there were some laughs in that scene.
There was but there was like, it was such a dead movie too. And nobody had any energy. Everybody talked like this.
Well, my favorite
It
part
was-
was the bad guy who they very conveniently almost never showed his face while he was talking.
Never.
And then
they
we
overdubbed all
yeah,
of his
because
lines.
the entire performance was overdubbed.
And none of the sound aligned with the rest of the sound.
No, it wasn't even good dubbing.
Yeah, like anytime you actually saw his mouth moving, it didn't line up with what he was saying.
Like,
Yeah.
have we seen interviews with that guy?
Does he just have a heinous accent or something?
Right.
I don't know.
Like I don't.
You know,
don't know.
speaking of the baby shower, like one of the things that bothered me was when they were going around actively just volunteering to say something, and she goes, "Hey, you speak."
Yeah.
You're like, "Whoa, what? That's not how the game
Yeah, that's so
goes."
weird.
That's real weird to put your friend on the spot like that.
Yeah.
And then she got awkward, and it was just like, "Well, I was adopted."
Well, and
My parents are dead.
understandably so, because she was put on the spot and around a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so most egregious thing I think is that was supposed to be Peter Parker's baby shower, and they
Yeah.
did a piss poor job of explaining who all these people were. I didn't even realize that until I was reading the trivia.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Adam Scott's character is Uncle Ben.
Ben, yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a neat little Easter egg if you had, like, I don't know, told me his last name at some point.
Yeah,
or
it's
not
like-
at the end.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I try to make the point where we kept trying to figure out, why is this set in 2003? Like, there was no reason for it. Aside
Yeah.
from the fact that if you connect all the dots, it was because they're trying to make Madam Web older by the time it becomes a current present day event, so she can be the older Madam Web to Spider-Man. But like, they cut out all of those references. So like they tried to make a Spider-Man tie-in movie, and they cut out as much of Spider-Man as they could.
which Sony has been weird about.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're still doing this. Like, if if you're not going to use Spider-Man, quit making Spider-Man movies until you can use Spider-Man.
Mhm.
Or sell the whole thing to Disney.
Well, like they can use it. They own him.
I mean,
which is the weird part.
But I think they still have
It's
that
probably some
contract
kind of
with
weird
Disney.
agreement.
Yeah. And so I don't.
I'm sorry. And Disney knows what they're doing with him. So
Yeah, they're doing just fine.
So why would they make the movie if they couldn't contractually do it?
And like at this
Money.
point, I mean,
Mm.
Sony just kind of needs to give up making movies anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why they keep making these. It's the only franchise they have left. And so because they lost the rights to distribute Bond, like they don't really have anything big going for them. Even their version of like the Fox Searchlight or whatever, their little indie house thing, it's not hardly doing anything. Like just shut down your filmmaking department, knock out some ridiculous agreement for some Disney money. Like what would you want for all of Spider-Man?
they'd almost have to jump on it.
Yeah. I bet you could even argue for lump sum plus residuals for so many movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
$4 billion, you get Spider-Man, all the characters, and we want 5% of the gross for the next 6 Spider-Man movies.
Well, I don't think Disney has the $4 billion right now. So
Well, okay, if
Neither
they
does
just
Sony.
didn't do Disney Plus for 4 months or quarters.
Yeah, 4 quarters. Yeah. For a year.
That'd be a year.
Yeah.
He was trying to make a point, though, of the amount of money they're losing in small amounts
Yep.
of time.
Yep.
So I really have to get this off my chest.
Okay, please do.
Please do.
It's a transition. So speaking of
It would have been better if you
2024
hadn't pointed out that it was a transition.
It's a 2024 like bad movie. So I went to go see. I left work early. I was like, and my friend wanted to go see Beetlejuice.
Okay.
Saw Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice.
Okay. So Beetlejuice's problem was it was building off nostalgia like every other remake does,
Mhm.
but adds 600 stories to follow.
Oh, no.
It's too
As
busy.
well. It's too busy.
They couldn't just pick an idea for the sequel.
Yeah, like if
Yeah.
they would have just dealt with
When Winona Ryder's
I guess
kids?
none of you care about
No,
spoilers.
not enough to be upset. Yeah, not enough to be upset about it.
Okay, so they have a new character. It's Beetlejuice's ex-wife,
Played by.
Monica
Bellucci,
Bellucci.
Mm.
Yeah,
Roll Tide.
which wasted her time being in this movie
Oh,
because they made her a threat, but her and Beetlejuice never interact.
that's
Hmm.
weird.
Weird, right?
Yeah.
She's going after him, but they never interact. She's never a problem. Beetlejuice has to escape. So he has to like convince what's her face to marry him.
Lydia.
Lydia gets put on the back burner. There's a point where they're talking about her dad dies. And so he's in that realm, and then all of a sudden her mom dies, but then no one cares about that she's in that realm or how she got there.
Mhm.
They're just like, oh, hey, mom, there you are. Where's dad?
Was
She just died.
Was she in the bureaucracy? Her mom?
No,
Okay. So not suicide.
no.
Okay.
Oh, funny enough. So she was having a ritual by her husband's grave with like 2 snakes and a
Right.
snake spider. And she dies.
Oh, that's what she does. Okay.
Stupidity doesn't count as suicide.
No.
Yeah. So it's really,
That's just culling the gene pool.
yeah. It was
was too
just
late
a lot
once.
of stories just put together for no reason, for no good result. And like one of the other bad guys I have is there's a boy that Lydia's daughter meets in the town, and he was like, "Oh my god, he's like real cute, and he likes Halloween, blah blah." And then it ends up becoming, you realize that he's dead,
Mm.
and he murdered his whole family,
Roll Tide.
and so he's trying to bring her to the other realm to steal her soul so he can come back to life.
Okay.
And
That's a lot.
as soon as you realize that, 5 minutes later, Beetlejuice deals with him and he's gone from the movie.
Okay.
So what you're saying is this was a pointless sequel.
Pointless.
Okay.
Pointless.
What a surprise.
Obstacles that we either ignored or easily overcame.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Mhm.
See, I
Cool.
think people forget how simplicity works.
Yeah.
Keep it simple,
You know what it really is?
flesh it out, and just go with that.
I don't think anyone writes 3-act structure anymore. Like,
Very true.
there's a reason they teach you that in every writing course ever. It's because it works. It's
Hey.
comforting.
Don't conform.
Okay, but
Well,
if no
not
one's
good.
conforming, then
And it's just chaos. It's just chaos.
Well, that movie was chaos.
So, all right. So, okay.
simple 3-act structure. That's
I was
all you
going to take
need.
my happy ass to go see Transformers 1 today, but that didn't happen. I really want to go see that.
Your happy ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
All I hear is Thor.
Right.
Like
Chris Hemsworth.
I don't know.
What?
He's Optimus Prime.
Well, one of my really good friends went to go see it, and they said that it captured the spirit of the '84 cartoons.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
And so,
This is
so
black
for
and white.
God, I hate you so much. So definitely for people my age,
Little sepia.
it might have, shut up. It might work better than for the millennials. I don't know, but anyway.
So what have you been gigging out on?
Not
Yeah, I'm trying to
Transformers
tie it
1.
back into what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
yeah. It turned it into a dual movie review.
Well, that's kind of what I was geeking out on because I've been
All right,
thinking
go.
about that ever since I saw it.
So we got Christian. One down.
What did I do? I've been playing the Warhammers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purging.
Hey, if
yeah.
you haven't seen our Warhammer
Yeah.
LAN party and review, the link's up there in the top right corner. I always get that confused. Top right corner or in the comments or description. We did that a few weeks ago. It was a fun time.
Just search it.
Good old fashioned LAN party.
Yeah. Yeah, do is just throw a keyword in there. Yeah, so that's been kind of fun. So I'm not, and I've said this before, but I'm not good at these kind of games. But it's one of those games where the targeting system is what's the word? Forgiving enough where you can
Mhm.
kind of spray and pray and do fairly well.
Yep.
I think I only died once when we were playing,
Mhm.
which is pretty damn good for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're doing better than I am. I die a lot more.
But I keep a distance. I don't.
Oh,
I was
okay.
gonna say, Corey,
Yeah.
Corey also gets in there. Like
Yeah. I'm just like, ooh, a sniper rifle. Let me hang back here and try this. So anyway, but that was kind of fun. Well, kind of, it is a lot of fun. I love seeing all the memes and the media about Warhammer.
That Josh makes sure he shares with
Well,
us.
that and like I've got some other friends from work that are playing it, and they're sending me memes and stuff like. By the way, they love watching our stuff. Like I've got a couple guys I work with. They love
nice.
watching our
Hey guys,
Hey
at
guys,
Jason's
from
work.
Jason's work.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of what I've been doing.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go next. Show and tell time. If you've been wondering why this is here.
Oh God!
I just
When it first started moving, it had one big wobble.
The Avengers Tower. Lego specifically. 5,200 in one
19.
piece.
Oh.
This came out almost a year ago. I think it was like 10 months ago. And I bought it on release day, and I just now finished it. So, took me a while.
You
So
didn't
how many
really
hours a day were you putting into this that took you so long?
25.
Okay. Well, anytime I sat down to do it, I was doing it like for 2 hours at a time.
Did you buy the light kit?
No.
You should get the light kit.
If I start doing the lights, it would just never stop.
He would be that
Well,
kind
of
of guy.
course.
But yeah, it's very good. If you haven't seen this before, look it up on Lego's website. It's set number 76269. Still available for purchase if you haven't got it yet.
Such
And
a
if you have
geek.
the money for
I
it, my
love it.
God. But like you can open it, you can put it on display, or it can actually be a play set as well. Came with like 30 minifigures or something, a lot of different characters. So you have Iron Man's and all the Shield characters and Hawkeye, pretty much the entire Avengers team. But like it opens up.
I was going to say, take the front off. Take it off.
Oh, that's
And
neat.
it's not specifically from any one movie, but it does have various scenes from the entire franchise. Like you have one floor that's Tony Stark's lab. You have one floor that's showing the scene from Avengers Age of Ultron where they're trying to lift up Thor's hammer. A bunch of different cool stuff. So like they had the scene where Hulk was throwing Loki into the ground in the first movie. So they have a bunch of cool scenes here. Yeah.
So one thing that they did, very simple but very clever, they've got Wanda actually flying higher than the other characters. And it's just a clear plastic block that they have her standing on. It's just really simple, really, but it's effective. So they put some some thought into how to portray the characters
And
too.
I don't have all the characters in here, but like they do have some like transparent sticks that you can stick onto random studs on the building to make it look like people are flying, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
all this opens up to display different scenes, like all this. Well, I could do it one-handed, but you get the point. Yeah, really cool stuff.
I like it.
Worth the money, I would say, but it's a big chunk of change.
Yeah, have the time.
Yeah. This will be going in my Lego City that this channel will see at some point once I clean up my
It's
garage.
pretty fantastic.
So.
It takes up most of his 2-car garage.
Yeah.
It's a big Lego city.
Yeah. Josh, I know you got some new Warhammers.
Yeah, Kill Team, 3rd edition, launched last Saturday. So it's been out like a week now. I just started putting my box together. Okay, so nerd rant. So Warhammer's parent company, Games Workshop, obviously makes all the models, and around here it's never a big deal, but in some places on launch day, if it's a big event, they might sell out of whatever the new box is. And so I figured, with the new game out and everyone getting hyped about, the Amazon series possibly and stuff like that, I was just like, this will be the one time that I just assume I can walk in and pick up the box on release day and they'll be sold out. So I was just like, I'm going to be a responsible adult. I'm going to pre-order it. I'm going to put it on a PayPal in 4, so I don't have to pay for it all at once, right?
Smart.
And so I did that, and I did that last Wednesday, so like 4 days before release day. And I kept checking the order status, and come release day, the order status was pre-order acknowledged. So I called I call the Warhammer store, and I'm like, "Hey, dude." He goes, "Sup, man?" I'm just like, "Tell me what this means. Like, can I come down there and get my thing? Like, is it good to go?" And he's just like, "Oh, no, man." And I was just like, "Oh, you don't have any?" And he goes, "Oh, no, I got plenty. You can't have one." And I was just like, "Why can't I have one?" And he was just like, "Because yours is going to ship from the warehouse. And Games Workshop will not ship pre-orders until release day so that no one has it before release day."
Sure.
And I was just like, "But you have some." And like, I set it for pickup at the store. So like, I can't just come get mine and you
They
just keep the
set
one
it aside for you.
and or like, and like, you can just keep the one that comes in for me. Nah, man, because there's no way to prove that you picked it up, which is fair, because I could come in and be like, "I never got my box. Give me my box." And then he'd have to give me 2. But anywho, I was just like, so to be clear though, if I hadn't pre-ordered, I could have just walked in today and bought it. And he goes, "Yeah." And I was just like, "Well, what if we did like a refund?" And he goes, "It takes 4 or 5 days for you to get your money back." And I was just like, "Cool."
Wow, that's some bull.
I know. I was just like, you can see how this is like a frustrating experience. And he's just like, yeah. And I was just like, "Cool, thanks." So, I mean, it didn't matter. I wouldn't have had time to play it till.
But you wanted it.
Yeah, because I mean, like I had the
possession.
Yeah, like, I had the kids and I was working all weekend anyway. So it's like, I wouldn't have really had time to get into it. But it was just kind of on principle. It was like, I mean, like, you had 4 days to do something to get me a box that I paid for. Anyway, so it's fine. I got it. It's awesome. It's 2 entirely new kill teams, which is pretty cool. I do think Kill Team will probably be what we play on this channel, just because it is much more manageable. And honestly, a lot of people are saying it's really a better game. Okay. Like 40K is like the granddaddy of tabletop war games, but a lot of people agree it's not necessarily the cleanest or the easiest one to play. Lots of convoluted rules that are constantly having errata come out. And so, like, if we played by the rule book today, technically, even though this only came out like 5 months ago for the newest edition of 40K, if we played with the rules today and we tried to go to a tournament, we'd be told real quick those aren't the rules anymore.
Interesting.
So like, it's
frustrating.
like they constantly do errata, which is nice because that usually means like balance improvements, things like that, just like you get on video games. But they don't really have a good system for making sure everyone has the most current rules, because they also don't want to give you the whole rule book for free.
But okay.
So like, it's very frustrating. Kill Team, they don't do that very much.
Okay.
So it's also fewer guys, more fun. Everyone just agrees it's a more fun game to play. And it's also like 90 minutes instead of 5 or 6 hours.
All right.
I can do 90 minutes.
Yeah. But
Cool.
yeah, so
Coming soon, Warhammer role-playing episode
Kill
or
Team.
live stream.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
It's not role playing though, because they do have Warhammer role playing games,
That's right. Sorry.
which would be awesome.
Tabletop.
You know, I had a very similar experience to yours when I ordered the Final Fantasy VII remake Part 2 Rebirth. My brother.
I love how convoluted this title is.
Well, I'm
Final
trying to-
Fantasy VII
it's
Part
Final
2
Fantasy VII
Rebirth.
Rebirth is
yeah.
what it's called. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is the Part 2 of the remake, but
New
it's just called Rebirth. Yeah, the next generation. Yes. But I had it ordered for Christmas from Target, and I guess Target didn't get enough.
They
Copies.
underestimated.
They underestimated. And,
Oh wow.
And so
Then what's the point of the pre-order?
yeah, so I didn't get to pre-order my game, so I had to actually go to SquareSoft's site.
Squaresoft?
Square Enix. Sorry,
Okay.
it used to be
That's
SquareSoft.
Squaresoft.
It used to be SquareSoft.
Did it?
Wow. Yes.
Is that a thing?
Look it up.
That sounds weird.
Keep
Yeah.
going, but I'm
No
gonna
one
look
of
it
the
up.
Can we get a real time fact check?
Yeah. Anyway. But anyway, I had to go to Square Enix and pull and buy it, and it was actually more as well.
Of course it
Of
was.
course it was.
Yeah. So it's like
Oh man, he was right.
Final Fantasy VII, the original in 1997, was released under SquareSoft.
It was Squaresoft, and they were succeeded by Square Enix.
That makes me feel weird.
They were defunct in 2003, and they merged with Enix, becoming Square Enix.
Oh.
Wow. Old.
Can't get a complete compliment out of that one. Yeah. It's like, oh, that's so cool because you're old. But yeah, it was extremely frustrating.
1997. What was I doing in 1997?
I graduated
Being
from high
9.
school and started college. Being beat.
I was in kindergarten.
Wow. Jason was playing Final Fantasy.
I was in basic training.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jason was shaving and stuff.
To be fair,
Well,
I was shaving in 9th grade.
oh,
Yeah.
big boy.
I had a mustache all the way through my junior year.
Well, Smokey and the Bandit had just come out. So.
I hate you.
Well, on that note,
And I had to
tried
Trans
to-
Am now.
I tried to keep this episode short. Probably didn't happen. It's probably been a half an hour at this point. But thank you for tuning in. This has been the most random off the wall episode we've probably ever done. But I think it went well.
Yeah,
So
it was a good
stay
one.
tuned for our pumpkin carving contest, the nerdy pumpkin carving contest, coming out the week of Halloween. It's going to be awesome. Britt's going to be our judge. He's going to be carving tiny little pumpkins. Isn't that fun?
Tiny little pumpkins.
And as
Tiny
always,
little pumpkins.
we miss it. We don't like it when our members are not here. So Nick and Brittany, we miss having you here.
Yeah,
Of course.
we were supposed to have Nick tonight. Something came up, so.
Yeah.
All right, if you're listening over on podcast, make sure you go on over to youtube.com/@eatsleepnerd. Click subscribe, click like, leave some comments. Let us know what you've been nerding out on here recently. And then most importantly, the best way you can help support this channel is to share us with your friends and family. Let them know that they can come subscribe over on YouTube. So any final thoughts?
If you're going to watch a bad movie, do it with friends. You need their support and their humor.
When Megalopolis comes out on,
Oh, yeah.
on streaming,
Probably next week.
yeah, it was in
Yeah.
theaters for like 2 weeks, and they were like, nah.
Dude, I don't even think it was 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Seriously, think it was like a solid week.
All right, Jason,
What?
3 things.
Getting ready for Halloween. Yeah. Find some good ghost stories to tell everybody. And like Corey said, subscribe to this stuff and get your friends to join to Eat, Sleep, Nerd. And then eat, sleep, and nerd.
That's so many things. Take it easy, people.